As you guys can see, they've gotten hazy over the few years I've had them on here. It's not that bad, but they're enough to get fixed. So you can see the haziness, the yellowing. A lot of people would probably just be idiots and use like toothpaste or something stupid on these. What I'm going to do is the cheap method of this, and the most expensive part is just the 3000 grit. So you can go to Walmart, go to the automotive section, and you can pick up one of these. It comes with 1000, 15, 2, and 25. You pick one of these up for like $3.50. And then you can go to AutoZone and get one of these, which is a P3000 for wet sanding. And that's like $6. Fucking, that's a damn ripoff, but whatever. I used to have more, but I guess I don't. It's whatever though. But get those, and then you're gonna need some polish. I've got a bunch of 3M polish up there on top of my shelf. Bunch of perfected 3M stuff, and then a towel, and you really should be ready. And just water. I mean, as you can see here, I got a Windex bottle full of just water, and what we're gonna be doing is wet sanding. So between stages, first thing we're gonna do is end up cleaning this. So you just want to get it nice and clean, get all the material out of it, and then first we're gonna start off with 1000 grit. And you're going to want to work it one way. So say for 1000 grit, we can work it left to right. And I'm not going to be using a sanding block for this. I'm just going to be using my hands. And instead of, you don't want to go straight up and down or like this. You want to go at an angle. Kind of go against the lines in your fingers. So you want to go like this. You don't want to go like that or like that. You want to go like that at an angle. And that's just so you don't get these little sanding lines from your fingers from where there's uneven pressure in between your fingers. So you're going to go side to side, and then when we get to the 1500 grit, you're going to go up and down. So you're going to kind of cross hatch this. So between each grit, you're going to go a different series. So 1000 will go left and right, 1500 will go up and down, 2000 will go left and right, 2500 will go up and down, and then 3000 will go left and right. And then polishing is just circular motions and polishing and buffing this thing out to a good finish. Best thing after you do any type of polishing and sanding is you really want to clear coat your lenses with some type of UV protectant clear coat. At the moment I don't have any clear coat. My best advice would be to get some really good, just check around and see what people would recommend. I've actually never really fully clear coated some headlights, but you know, I'll clear coat them. It'll make this last a long time. It'll last a while without clear coating them. I mean, I've sanded my mom's headlights down on her WRX once, and I mean, they're already starting to yellow out, but they're really clean for what they are, and they've been like that for about 2 years now. So, and that's no clear coat, so it'll last a little while. Just depends on how much you keep it out in the sun. Anyway, I'll go ahead and start on this and show you guys the process. Okay, first things first, I'm just gonna use a cloth, and I'm gonna be doing this one-handed, holding my Canon in my hand, so that's gonna be a little hard. I don't have a nice tripod, but anyway, so we're just gonna go ahead and squeak her down. And you already see, you know, how clear it gets once you get it wet. So I put some, just got a little plastic cup here, put some car cleaner in there, and soap and water really, and then we're just gonna wash her, get her a little clean. Now from this point on, just dry up everything, and then you can mask off your paint if you want. You don't have to, that's all up to you. I'm gonna dry this off real quick, and I will be right back. You can get away with doing, you know, 2 headlights with 1 sheet. Just make sure you stick with one side of the sheet for one headlight and the other for the other headlight. So just that way you can keep all the dirt and stuff on one when you go to a fresh lens. Go ahead and wet this piece of paper. I'm gonna lay it on top of this cup since it's kind of a clean place. Do this. Now you don't want it soaked, you just want it damp. Just a good dampness. And then, let me try to move this cloth somewhere. I'm trying to get my stuff dirty in the process. You really want to be kind of clean, thorough with this stuff. So now we're gonna go left to right, and then just sand it and go against the lines in your fingers. So just kind of go at an angle. Some areas it's hard to do, some areas it's probably easy. You know, you're probably just gonna have to move your body around kind of awkwardly and hit some areas, but just continue like this until it kind of feels smoother. So I just keep kicking stuff. So you just want to continue around till it feels really nice and smooth. Be right back. Doing this 1000 grit, this is probably one of the most important steps, so you do want to be kind of thorough with it. The fact is, the 1000 is the cutting grit, and that's what mostly is going to chew through all the yellowness in your lens. So the 1000 will be the best at making sure it comes out the clearest. We're going to continue, and I will clean this all up and then we'll skip to the next step. Alrighty, now we're back. As you guys can see, it looks funny because it's drying at the moment, but you can see all the haziness in there now. Done with the 1000 grit, so she's all hazy now, and I'm going to be moving on to the 1500 here. And then now, instead of going left to right, we're going to go up and down. So we're going to move on to this one and start cutting away at the lens. Alright, so as you guys can see while I'm doing this one-handed, we're just going to go up and down against the lines of my fingers, trying to get in all these little nooks and crannies. So as you guys can see, it's not like yellow anymore. On to the next one. So I'll see you guys here in a minute when I'm on to the next grit, which is 2000. Alrighty guys, so now we're on to 2000 grit, and instead of going up and down like I just did, we're going to go back to left and right. So just continue cycle of going back and forth. So now we'll be moving on to left and right. Alrighty guys, so now we got 2000 grit done, and just so you guys can kind of see the clarity that's coming through now, we'll wet it up a little bit so you can guys kind of see how much clearer it's getting, how smooth it is. And it's just really itty bitty micro scratches in it now. So now we'll be moving up to 2500 grit, and we'll be going back to up and down. So see you guys in a second after 2500 is done. Alrighty guys, so now 2500 is done, and you guys can really start seeing some of this clarity while they're wet. So you can see how smooth they are. There's no yellowness in them at all. So this one to this one, back, you can see there's no yellowness in there. So now it's time to move on to the 3000 grit, and that's this one. It's got a little bit of a cushion behind it, so we'll be moving on to this one. And you can even go higher than 3000, but 3000 is the most I'm gonna go to. If you really want to be thorough, you can probably go to like a 3500 or 4000, but I'm gonna go 3000, and I'm gonna go to after I'll resume this video, but we're gonna go back to left and right. So back to the start, and I'll be back here in a minute. Look at that. That's after 3000. That's what it looks like damp. See how clear it is. Now you can see all the little micro scratches in it as it's drying, or all the like deep scratches in the lens itself. But now we move on to polishing. I have some Perfected 3M over here, and ideally you'd want to use a rotary tool or some type of polisher buffer, but for you guys that are probably balling on a hella budget, you can use an applicator pad, and this should do fine. You just really want to clean these things off and get them nice and clean. Make sure there's no dirt in them, and these will do fine. You just need a polishing compound or rubbing compound. So what I'm going to do is, this is the step that you guys can usually stop at. I'm going to do the rubbing compound, polishing compound, and then extra fine polishing compound. And that's just like overkill. So, but yeah, you can use one of these ideally and get away with it with some rubbing compound. But I might as well plug in my tool since I got it. So I'll go ahead and knock those out, and I'll come back after I do the rubbing compound and stuff. So back. So this was a quick pass with the buffer, and I'm pretty sure you guys can see just about how clean these are. So that was just one quick pass. As you can see down here, right in this little general area here, it needs to be buffed some more. But I mean, take a look at this. And then look at this. So You can clearly see night and day difference on these headlights. And look at that, so definitely a big change there. But I still have 2 more compounds to go through, and I'll finish these off buffing them, and then I'll let you guys see the final product. But this is what you guys can get with a simple buffing pad and rubbing compound. So there you go. And then after this, it would need a clear coat. And we're here for the last portion of this. So now, as you guys can see, it has been completely buffed. I can't cut the headlights on right now because the battery's been unplugged, but yeah, as you can see, there's really no micro scratches hardly in it. But for what you can see, it's a very clean lens now, no yellowing. Now you look at this lens, just like that. Now let's move over to this lens. You know, look at that, big difference, big difference. You ain't gonna learn unless you get your hands dirty or do some labor. So anyways, see you guys later.